Hello and welcome. This is the Game Time Gazette. This is your host Isaiah Ameni. I thank you for joining in. Just made a great decision tuning into this podcast. We talk all sports and all types of fun. So without further ado, let's get ready and let's go.
Hello guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Game Time Gazette. New week, new me, new you, new sports, new news. We went through a lot this weekend. I slaved a little bit to get this video out, and it's because I like talking to you guys, man. I like talking to you, and we just thank God that we're able to film this video right now, do our daily dealings in the Game Time Gazette. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Don't even know where to start. I was going to make this an all basketball episode, talk about college basketball and kind of go through my bracket, give you guys my early outlook. I mean, we got March Madness starting up on Wednesday. Talk about, some of that, get all my basketball picks and dips and everything since it was selection Sunday, last Sunday, yesterday as well. And, some things happen in the NFL. But I'll leave that up to tomorrow. To be honest, I'll leave the NFL up to tomorrow. Got a lot to go through with, college basketball, NBA basketball. Got a lot to go through with just, a few games happened last night that were really great. A few games happened in the weekend. We got buzzer beaters. We got in the caption from buzzer beaters to from gridiron to from touchdowns to buzzer beaters. That's what we say for the Game Time Gazette. But yeah, we got some great buzzer beaters. Kyrie with the one-handed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar type buzzer beater to beat the Denver Nuggets. That was pretty cool. Seeing Bam Adebayo score that's the first three I ever seen Bam score ever in my life. I've never seen Bam score three ever. So that was really cool to see as well. Seeing controversy as well. Golden State versus LA. Seeing LeBron's foot on the line. LeBron's not foot on the line. LeBron fans are saying that LeBron was fouled in that last play where Steph stole the ball from him and, basically closed the game out. A lot of this weekend that happened. I think I'm just gonna go quickly because there are just two games that I really just wanted to cover, go on and just quickly highlight that happened last night. And first, I'm not even gonna spend too much time talking about the Toronto Raptors here, but I will because we got the hat on, we repping the city, everything. We're getting the chances for that 7th pick are getting better and better as every day goes on. Because currently we hold the 6th pick. Currently we hold the 6th pick. We're on a 7-game losing streak right now. And we're not too far behind from getting, a great chance at number one overall pick, getting, a 10% chance or better. From the Portland Trailblazers, which they're playing better basketball than we are right now. A lot of teams are playing better basketball than Toronto Raptors are right now. Injuries, young players just trying to find their rhythm as well, which I think is a thing that a lot of Raptors fans really noticed. And if there's any fan base that really sticks with you that like the Toronto Raptors will, you don't see it like that often. We're not dissing none of our players. Guys going out there, they make a few mistakes, it's blessed. Go back on the next play and fix it up again, and that's basically how it's really been for these last few months. Obviously after Scottie went out, it became clear that let's just full on tank. Obviously with Scottie, and there's still games that you could win just because of the way he impacts the game defensively, offensively, playmaking, scoring wise, right? So when he's off the floor, and it's a lot of these young guys, the Grady Dicks, even Javon Freeman Liberty bringing up some guys from the G League as well. Let's see the full list of guys that they brought up from the G League for at least yesterday's game. Got beat up by the Orlando Magic. Seen the funniest thing with the Grady Dick and Anthony Black. You know, you could already picture it. All you NBA fans already seen the pictures out here. You know what? I'm gonna drop the picture in the video, so make sure to watch the video on YouTube later, or wherever you catch your video podcast. Make sure to watch it there. But yeah, it was the funniest thing ever. I mean, they coordinated it and everything. You gotta love the NBA, and young players from the same draft class. That was fun to see. At least Raptors getting beat up. It doesn't matter. It's still fun. It was a competitive game till the end, even though we knew we weren't probably gonna win this game. Didn't even have the pieces in it to be able to compete with the Orlando Magic team that's been playing really, really well this year. Really, really well this year. You see the improvements from all the tanking they have done for the last, Dwight Howard years were 2012, 2013. I think that was the last Dwight Howard year. And that was the last, can't really count the Alfred Payton years and Vukovic years. Those years weren't great. The Aaron Gordon years, those years weren't great, in my opinion. So, getting much better. If you're the Orlando Magic, to be honest, since the Shaq era, but they did make they made the finals with they made the finals, in 09 with Dwight. 09, 10. No, it wasn't 09. It wasn't 2010 either. It wasn't 2011. Why am I spending so much time on when did the Magic make the finals? But yeah, no, it's so much. They're doing a lot more. Yeah, it was 09. Yeah, I was right. Psst, tell me I don't know my basketball knowledge. I was right, man. I was right. I was correct. But yeah, no, it's a lot of things that just went into that loss. I was checking. So yeah, we called up Jamarius Ramsey. We called up Javon Freeman-Liberty, obviously. Those are the only two guys that suited up and got minutes from the G League last night that we called up. And Ramsey, he's not bad. We seen him. He got 19 minutes on the floor. You seen Darko give him a lot more run out there. Want to see that, him, Freeman Liberty, Jonte Porter, he's been getting a lot more run time, been improving a lot more as well. Since the first game they really see, and you see the rawness and you see his talent, you see where you can mold on him. For Jordan Nwora, Kelly Olynyk, Ochai Agbaji, who else did we trade for? Bruce Brown, these guys, really, this Raptors roster right here. There's only one player that started, or two players that started the season for us. Three players that started the season for us. Don't remember if Jalen McDaniels was on the beginning of the season, but he was. He had to be, right? Three players that started the season for us were playing against Orlando Magic last night. And honestly, yeah, you just love to see it. Grady Dick's been having a great just improvement, get 27 minutes out there. Even Ochai Agbaji, get 31 minutes out there. Be able to grow as players. You love to see that. Don't really have much to talk about the Raptors. I spent 7 minutes just rambling and talking about, we got G League players and this and that. All right, let me make the point clear. We're good, and for the future, this is something that you love to see. That sixth pick that the Toronto Raptors, have a possibility of getting. Because even if we lose all these games, at the end of the day, it's all about the lottery and how that lottery draft goes. And at the end of the day, you want to put yourself in the best position to get a pick, at least in the top 10 this year. I know the Raptors, I don't think we're going to be, tanking next year. I don't see that, even though they're saying next year's draft is much, much stronger. I don't see us tanking next year. So, want a top pick this year. I've been saying it for weeks now, but I will do a extensive, draft episode for the NBA draft talk. And March Madness, perfect time. Oh my gosh, you see how it just adds up, because March Madness is the perfect time to talk about some of these NBA draft prospects, because this is where NBA draft prospects are made. These are where lottery picks are made. Some guys make their money here in March Madness. Some guys go to I don't know. Let me think of some guys go to like NC State. NC State won they won the ACC. They won the ACC over the weekend, right? It was a surprise thing. 10th seed. They were the lowest seed ever in the last 10, 15, 20 years to win the ACC, right? And just seeing it, like, it was, that's, teams like that where you haven't had the greatest year, didn't have the greatest regular season record, have guys step up in the postseason, in the March Madness, in the championship turn, in the conference tournaments, and all of that, and be able to make a name for themselves to get drafted this year. This is where the money is made. This is where the money is made. So we will be having an episode on the draft. But yeah, you just want the best position. And if you're the Toronto Raptors, we will be talking about some of these guys that are coming in. When they come in. And so, yeah, we can move on from there. I really do quickly want to get, with that segue, talking about this is where you make your money in the March Madness. Let's get to the March Madness. Welcome to March. You got to be prepared to fill out your brackets. If you need some help, I'm here to help you out. That's why you call on Big Boy Isaiah, your big brother. I'm here to help you out. It's been an exciting season, right? I mean, we've seen a lot of parity in this college basketball. I mean, for women's college basketball, it's been very. South Carolina came into the season. They didn't think they were gonna do what they did. Dawn Staley and the girls. Dawn Staley got them girls ready. She got them girls ready. They're currently undefeated. Seeing LSU and what they're doing up there. Obviously, you always got to give love to Angel Reese and Angel Reese, Kaylee Van Helft, head coach Kim Mulkey. She's always going to get them ready, right? And, currently, let me just check out their record, but they are second in the South, in the SEC. Well, obviously, they lost in just the finals. 13-3, and no, not 13-3. That was their conference record. Yeah, they were 28-5. LSU, that's another team that really looking at them. This is women's college basketball. Sorry if I did not make that distinction. But yeah, South Carolina was really one. I was about to place a bet on them before the season started as well. They were like plus 2,500 to win the March Madness, or the conference for the women's basketball, the national championship. Man, I don't know why am I jumbling my words out of nowhere, but they were like 2,500 to win the national championship. Obviously, we've seen a lot of their recruits go to the WNBA, move on, all of this and all of that. You only get 4 years in college basketball, right? So you see Aaliyah Boston, all of those girls, that class, after that class moved on, this South Carolina team was very undervalued at the beginning of the year. Head coach Dawn Staley, very undervalued at the beginning of the year, but they were able to do a Mazza. Able to win 32 straight in the moment and be able to go into the March Madness with the number one seed. And that's just, you're looking at it. You're looking at a favorite. You're looking at someone that I think is going to win. Let me just start off the bat and tell you, I think South Carolina going to take it. I think South Carolina going to take it for sure. Just the way they've been playing basketball all year long, not just about 32-0. And, I like their roster. I love their roster. Cardosa, all of them girls, I love their roster. But I also love Dawn Staley and Dawn Staley's, just aura. It's like her aura is on the same. It's on par with. Gotta give it, it's on par with. It's on par with like Nick Saban, college sports. Just consistent success. Obviously, Nick Saban had. We're talking 20 plus years of consistent success. But Dawn Staley she ain't far behind. She ain't far behind at all, Dawn Staley. And she's quickly getting there as well. And they really got a great road to the final as well. South Carolina able to get the number one overall seed in the whole tournament and the top seed in the Albany 1 regional. Everybody's saying that this is one of the easiest road to the easiest regional bracket, for the number 1 seed since 1992. Jeez Louise, that's crazy. That is crazy. Yeah, and just looking at it all, I mean, yeah, I'm just reading it right now because they're saying that, okay, South Carolina, number 1 overall seed in the overall tournament. This is on ESPN as well. This is, who wrote this? Michael Vopel from ESPN.com wrote this a few days ago. Just yesterday, a few days ago. Yeah, but just yesterday. And talking about, biggest winner for sure has, is South Carolina being able to get an easy conference, being able to, get the easiest route to the final since 1992. They're 2-time national champions as well. But they do got Notre Dame. Notre Dame has been real good. They got that one girl. Forgot her name. Diallo. No, not Diallo. Bro, they got that one girl. She a dog. She a dog for sure. USC. I loved USC's game. And getting a number 1 seed was really surprising for me, but it made sense. I mean, Juju Watkins and all of that they were a really surprising group, the USC Trojans. You expected that from their men's team, but their women's team really popped off. I mean, Juju Watkins was a top freshman in the rookie class, top freshman in the country, one of the top players in the country. Had a few 40-point, booming. And the Trojans, they haven't been a number 1 seed since 1968. So that was, winning the Pac-12 tournament and, all of that really got them to be able to host an early round of the NCAA tournament again. So not going on the road, looking down, if they were able to win out the games, got a showdown with Paige Buchers in UConn. And Paige Buchers coming back. I mean, she's been looking amazing as well. After that injury, definitely had that slow comeback, right? ACL, meniscus, whatever she had, but it makes sense. Have that slow comeback, be able to come back in and just show the talent that really put her up there and put her up on UConn. Remember when UConn was like the powerhouse of women's college basketball, where they would just win. I mean, that one time, I forgot who went through the program. I feel like this was between 2016 and 2018, where they just didn't lose a game. They won like 60 something. I don't know. Like 60, like 100 something. Let me see. I want to search it up. It was crazy. UConn women's basketball win streak. I remember it was unreal. 111 straight wins. Yeah, it was unreal. It was from 2014 to 2017. Yeah. Yeah, they even lost in the Final Four as well in overtime. I remember when that happened. Yep. But yeah, no, I seen a lot of great playoff Paige Buchers and UConn, so that's gonna be a good matchup, down the road. But yeah, a dark horse for me is definitely that USC team, that Trojans team. Looking at them in the Albany 2 women's college. I'm over here too much. Albany 2, right? Bracket. So looking at that, just looking at what they can be able to do. Can't say. I mean, we still haven't gotten to the biggest player in women's college basketball yet, but looking at what they're able to do, really see them as a team to be able to dark horse. UConn as well, dark horse, be able to go and do something. I talked a little bit about the Irish already. So let's get to Iowa. Iowa, the other number one seed. Another number one seed. There's 4 number one seeds. I only said, 2? So there's, 4 number one seeds. I already mentioned LSU. I mentioned South Carolina. USC. I know that, USC being a number one seed, that was crazy. No, LSU didn't get number one seed. I'm chopped. I mentioned 3, and with Iowa here, it'll be the 3rd number one seed that I mentioned, right? And last season, it was Stanford. The number one seed in Iowa's regional. They were eliminated in the 2nd round by Ole Miss. Yeah, because they just don't got an easy path to the Final Fours. I mean, even though they got there, the Hawkeyes got there in the 2023. It's just seeming like their easiest path. Even though they got there last year, they didn't have an easy path. Got the number one seed this year, higher seed than they did last year. Obviously, you would get an easier opponent. Don't even know why I'm saying it like that's a contradictory statement. Jeez Louise, let's focus up here. But I mean, they do got, like, in my opinion, they do got some potential, some potential upset alert though for Iowa. If you're looking at them, you're not looking at them and saying, hey, they can make the finals again, number one seed, yes, but I mean, they're gonna go against Holy Cross, UT Martin winner, and then that winner would verse West Virginia Princeton, and that I mean, that's not bad. Those aren't too much. Those aren't the where it gets scary for Iowa. But I mean, you're looking at West Virginia. That West Virginia team is pretty good. I mean, lead the Big 12 in steals, and it's just defense. Obviously you got Caitlin Clark right? Yeah, Caitlin Clark I'm like, that's her name? Yeah, Caitlin. You got Caitlin Clark, biggest player in college basketball, right? But obviously, offense is what you got. Even on to fill out the rest of the team, they're a very offensive team. The Iowa Hawkeyes are. But if you got defense to be able to countermatch that offense, be able to slow them down, we seen it happen last year in the tournament when they got to the Final Four, and I think we'll see it again here this year. Just because Georgia's ability to defend Iowa last year made a nerve-wracking 2nd round. It was a close win for them, but it was a nerve-wracking win for them. And I feel like it could definitely be very, very similar if they face West Virginia. Because West Virginia just hangs their hat on defense, right? And looking at that is look at the teams that hang their hats on defense. West Virginia is one of them. And even if they get through that, Iowa would have to face a program that upset. I mean, if they don't face West Virginia, they would have to face Princeton, a program that upset Kentucky 2 years ago. But even if they get through that, Iowa would still have a 3rd meeting of the season versus Kansas State. Potentially, if Kansas State gets over there as well. Teams play twice in November, and the Wildcats won the first. And the second, the Hawkeyes won the second. Ayoka Lee, she's, the muscle on the inside for that K-State team, and, pushed Texas to the big, that pushed Texas in that Big 12 semifinal, right? So just looking at that, it's going to be a tough road for Iowa because, okay, if they make beat the Holy Cross UT Martin winner, if they beat the Holy Cross UT Martin winner, after that, the next round for them just gets tough. Got to verse West Virginia and Princeton. Both of those, whoever they verse in that matchup will be a tough matchup. Then you got Georgia. Not Georgia. I'm reading off my notes here. I know, it's just so far. No, but if they get past that, then you got Kansas State. Who's given them a lot of trouble, and if they make the Elite Eight, they got either number 2 seed UCLA or number 3 seed LSU. And, you know, one of the biggest issues for both of these teams, I mean, for the Hawkeyes when they go up against both of these teams, is the size. I mean, you got Angel Reese from the LSU, and I mean LSU, right? Yeah, and UCLA, you got just size up there, and the Hawkeyes just don't have the size inside. They don't have the center size to combat it. Even though you got Caitlin Clark shooting the 3 from half court, they don't have the size to combat it. It'll all start versus Kansas State, move down UCLA or LSU. So all of it will just be tough for them. We talk about LSU placement wise. LSU, you know, they wouldn't be mind trading spots with Stanford and Portland or USC and Portland 3, you know, because they fell through to the Trojans in the Pac-12 semifinals. Trojans took their spot, just the way it is. And this is the last season of the Pac-12. I even forgot to mention that. That's crazy. That is crazy that it took me 25 minutes to mention the final season of the Pac-12. I mean, that's some craziness as well. See how football just moves the needle? That's crazy. Like, the college football really does move the needle, especially for college sports, because as soon as the Pac-12 disbanded in college football, it was over for everybody else. It's just the way it is. Excited to see this new beginning, new journey. You know, I feel like everybody's sticking on this nostalgic game. I mean, it's the Pac-12. It's, you know, there is some nostalgia behind it. Doesn't make any... not the best for it not existing anymore, like out of nowhere, just both gone from existence. But new beginnings and new starts, I feel like that's exciting for, the college sports. We're going to see a lot more rivalries, a lot better games next year, especially in college football when, the conferences, Let's not get into that. Let's just stay on track here. But yeah, I mean, let's go back to the UCLA Bruins. Make it to semifinals, but lost to USC. But in its final season, the Pac-12 has 3 teams in the top 2 seeds for the first time in conference history. Same thing happened in football, where in its final season, all these Pac-12 teams are going off. Like they're gonna be trying to get a bid in the college football playoffs, this and that. I mean, it was it's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, for the first time ever, 3 teams in the top 2 seats, and UCLA has has the toughest pairing of the 3. Because for UCLA to get through, let's look at the matchups that they'd have to verse. So if the seeds hold, they would have to get through LSU and Iowa back to back, 2 very different types of teams, 2 of the best teams in the country. So, we're not looking at them as a team that's really just gonna, even before everything, USC beating them, that surprised me as well. But Juju Watkins is a bucket. You always give buckets the benefit of the doubt. Always should have thought of that, and March Madness, think about that as well. You always give buckets benefit of the doubt, even though I'm talking about defense. And defense does win you championships, yes. But there's some players out there that you can't defend. That, like, as much as you're defending him as well as you can, like, it's just, that guy's going to get a bucket. Watch out for those players this March Madness, because, hey, I know there's going to be a 1-2 guys out there that guy's going to get a bucket. Watch out for those guys. All right, lastly, for these women college basketball, I want to talk about just the LSU Tigers, the defending champs. They're the number 3 seed in Albany too. Their path isn't as tough as Iowa or UCLA. They've already played the best team in the country, South Carolina, twice. Being able to keep up with them. I mean, South Carolina beat them at the end with a buzzer beater from Cardosa. A crazy buzzer beater. That's her first ever 3-point bucket ever made. So if you're LSU, you have a lot of confidence in going up against, a South Carolina again. Even though I personally think that South Carolina will be able to edge it out at the end, it's very hard to beat a team 3 times in one season. So if you're LSU, you don't feel scared going up against this North Carolina team, and that, that confidence that, playing North Carolina 2 times already this one season gives you, and, staying close in the games, it gives you confidence against everybody else. You could take everybody else out. North Carolina undefeated. Nobody beat North Carolina. You guys were the closest, so you could take everybody else out. Even though the Tigers lost their, SEC regular season tournament, they hung around, right? So they won the title last season as well. They beat Iowa in the finals. So it's all, even though they got a tough matchups, they don't got the easiest road. Not like South Carolina, where they got a pretty easy road to the finals, to the Final Four. Like one of the easiest since, what was the number, 1968 for a number 1 seed. LSU still has confidence and they got the players to be able to make it through. I still, in my heart of hearts, I see it at LSU versus South Carolina, 3rd rematch at the Final Four, to, book your ticket to the finals. It's going to be very interesting, because, even head coach Moki, she already has 4 national championships as a coach. Yeah, LSU's just one of them teams that when it gets to March, they start turning up. Like we're gonna move on to just the men's bracket right now, and we're gonna look at some of the other teams, like Izzo time. It's January, February, Izzo. That's how it is. That's how it is, because it's Izzo time. I don't know how Michigan State made it in here this year. I don't know. A lot of you guys are gonna say that Michigan State did not deserve it. They got their 25th or 26th straight berth into the NCAA March Madness tournament. A lot of you guys don't believe so, though. I don't know. It's very interesting, though, because Michigan State did not play well this year. Not really, not at all. Had a few bright spots, but to make it in over the teams they made it in as well. Had some teams left out that we were just like, ooh, don't even know. But yeah, I mean, I was looking at who who Michigan State took off, but yeah, looking at my bracket, I got some upsets on my bracket. I'm not gonna lie. Let's start with the upsets. So I got Yale beating Auburn in the first round. It's weird, but it's true. It's crazy, but it's true. Why? Number 4 seeds have won 78% of the meetings with number 13 seeds, but at least one number 13 seed has beaten a number 4 seed in 27 of 38 tournaments, right? And we look at Auburn. Auburn did just win their conference, played really well. Yeah, I mean, just had a great end to the year. But Yale just did the same thing. Let's look at the Yale. I mean, ended the year off 22-9. Danny Wolf playing really good, playing pretty well for the Yale. Don't know what their name is. I don't know what their name is. What is it? Yale Bluebirds? Don't know. No. But yeah, I mean, just catching fire at the right time. They've won. The big games to get to this point. I did not think, at a certain point you just think, hey, if they can get in, they could cause some havoc here. Even though Auburn is elite on both sides of the ball, as strong as their offense is, their defense is better. They bring the energy and limit opponents to the lowest field goal in the nation inside the arc. They're top 15 in defensive 3-point percentage. Johnny Broom leads the way in the scoring department. It's one of the deepest teams in the country, going 10 deep. But that's where it gets to, like Yale has it does important things as well. It limits turnovers. It controls the defensive boards. Danny Wolf, who I just brought up, had an amazing season for the Yale, and over there in the Ivy League, averaging 14 and 9.7 rebounds. And all starters, all 5 starters, average double-digit points so they could score the ball. Ivy League teams have long given opponents trouble in the big dance, and Yale could very well do the same again this year. I mean, I just looked at the Ivy League team. I looked at the opponent. I looked at the 13-4 matchup. Hey, that's an important number. Numbers are very important when it comes to March Madness. It's the whole thing of in 11 of 12 tournaments. When the first round existed, at least one of the participants is round to the second round. Yeah, but even then, for Yale to beat Auburn, it's all about madness. It's all about March Madness. You're looking at a conference winner losing in the first round here. This is what March Madness is about. Let me give you my other upset. Not really too much of a big upset here, but Texas Tech losing to NC State. I just love the way NC State is picking up steam at this end of the year. It got to postseason time in college, and they were able to start turning up, able to win the ACC. Or what tournament did they win? Yeah, no, the ACC. They beat Duke. They beat North Carolina at the end of it. I mean, they started 11-3 this year before dropping 11 of their next 17 games. So they're and then they went on a shocking 5-game win streak to win the ACC tournament. So this is a team that could really go either way here. They could go all the way, or they could lose in this first round here against Texas Tech. I don't think they'd lose it against Texas Tech because Texas Tech has not been as great this year as well. The last time number 6 seeds won all 4 meetings with number 11 seeds in a single tournament was 2004. So you're looking at that and you're saying, okay, you're looking at all the number 6 and 11 seeds, right? 6 and 11 seeds. One of them is going to lose. And I have 2 of them losing. I have BYU losing to Doki News as well. That is crazy. I have 2 of them losing. So these are some picks you guys are going to want to listen. Because Doki News as well, they just won their conference. BYU, they had a okay season. I'm not saying that BYU didn't have an okay season, but they're led by 6-man Jackson Robinson. They shoot the ball incredibly well. They're good at defensive rebounding. They don't draw a ton of fouls. They're ready to challenge any team in their face. But they just had a disappointing tournament for me. They lost out to some great teams too. They lost out to Texas Tech and Iowa State. That's how they finished off their conference season. But I love the way Dacuns. I'm saying it French. Dacuns. But they're able to take the Atlantic 10 tournament title. Held out VCU as well, and they're extending a win streak to 8 games. They're going into this big dance with an 8 games 8-game win streak. It's hard to go into the March Madness with any more momentum than that. Like, literally harder to be able to be any more hot than you are like that. Their last loss came back a month ago, February 23rd. They're very average offensively, but their defense, we're talking about, defense wins you championships. And these are the types of teams, not the Dukes, not the NC States, not them. These are the type of teams I bet on to win these games. Well, obviously, you're not going to find Duke as an underdog too many times here in the March Madness tournament, or, Iowa State or NC State or whatever. Even though NC State probably going to be a 1-2s. But just looking at, a team like Docu News where it's like they're average offensively, but boom, they get their defense turning up, and their defense helps their offense turn up, get on the break, get some easy shots, get this, get that. Those are the teams I like to bet on, because not only are they a momentum team, but okay, they get hot, they'll stay hot. Maybe they're losing by 6 points going into the second half. And then, all right, come out in the second half, boom, boom, defense, turn up into a 3, turn up into a 2, turn up into another 2. They're up 1, and then just start going on a run like that, and then just take the game. Those are the types of teams I like to bet on, especially in the March Madness. You got to watch it before it happens. And BYU is one of those teams to be able to get beat on that, where the 3 ball's just not shooting anymore, it's not hitting anymore. So be able to watch out for that as well. Just those little things that can happen there, right? On the other side of the bracket, I don't have a lot of upsets. I just gave you, because I really wanted to run down. I've been rambling a lot. I apologize, really. This show really does stink, man. I'm trying my best, but this show sucks, bro. I am rambling. It took me 40 minutes to get out some proper picks, man. I'm sorry about that. I am truly, truly sorry. I got Drake beating Washington State. Drake's had an amazing year this year. I really like what they've been able to do. Number 7 seeds have won just 60% of the meeting. In the past 2 years, 7 seeds have won 6 of 8 meetings, which is true. But hey, I did not. Yeah, but I still like Drake's chances here. Still offensive, strong offensive team. Led by Missouri Conference Player of the Year, Tucker DeVries, average 21, and they're not special defensively, and they lack a little bit of size. They're one of the best teams defensively in creating chances for others. So that's what I really look at. So I got Drake beating with the upset there on Washington State, even though 7 seeds have been pretty winning this matchup most of the time. On the other side, as I said, I got New Mexico beating Clemson, 11-6 seed. We're not looking at, this is not the biggest upset here. But yeah, after Clemson started 11-1, the streaky team has lost now, 3 or 4. They finished 10-10 in their last 20 games. Joseph Girard is, draining the 3. But the Tigers, they're not on a roll right now. They're 10-10 to finish, over the last 20 games, the average. This, it's every game has been a struggle. It seems to be a struggle with this cold streak that, Joseph Girard has been on, and this whole team low-key has been on. The whole thing about 7 seeds against 6 seeds against 11 seeds. Last time number 6 seeds won all 4 meetings was 2004. Watch out for that. Amen. 3 out of 4 might win, 2 out of 4 might win, 1 out of 4 might win, 0 out of 4 might win. But I am predicting that University of Mexico, New Mexico, is going to take that game. They score more, they defend better. Their record versus top 25 is, relatively the same, 500. And the Lobos enter the big dance on a hot streak again. And this is another, I'm giving you guys picks. I'm giving you guys winners. Yeah, but this is, they entered the big dance on a hot streak. Just won a surprise Mountain West title. They have one of the best offenses in college basketball, ranking among top teams in points per game. And they're great at taking care of the ball, forcing turnovers as well. They could be a potential Cinderella team in this tournament, but they have to, keep up with their opponents to get on a run. I see them being a potential, Cinderella run opponent in this tournament. Picking up steam at the right time. I've given you guys 4 picks here now. I've given you guys University of New Mexico. I've given you guys, I went NC State. I went NC State. I went Drake. And then I went Docu News. I've given you guys keys to kingdoms, man. If you guys don't use it, it's on you. Use it, abuse it, or lose it. That's all I'm gonna say. The next upset, I think this is the last upset that I got for the day as well. No, I got another upset, another stupid upset. How did I get to that though? How did I get to that? Wait. 3 of the 6 times. Oh yeah. I forgot about. Yeah, I got Grand Canyon beating St. Mary's. Yeah, just the whole thing about the 12 and 5 seeds as well. I mean, the numbers are important in college basketball. So at least one number 12 team has defeated a number 5 seed in 32 of 38 tournaments, bro. It's happened consistently. This is a consistent pick that I'm giving you guys. Please listen. This is a consistent one right here. 3 of the 6 times number 12 seeds have failed to win a first round game have occurred in the past 8 tourneys. It's true. But we're looking at a Grand Canyon team that, hey, frankly, to end off the year, they did the best way they could. Make it. Yeah, this is 3 NCAA tournaments, berths for Bryce Drew in his 4 years at Grand Canyon. This season's squad just knows how to win. They just know how to win. They're ranked top 65 nationally in both offensive and defensive efficiency. They don't really rely on their bench too much, sticking to a 7-man rotation. And Tyrann Grant Foster gives them a start to turn to when it matters most, and that's what it comes down to in the big dance. You're giving me all analytics and all picks onto why Grand Canyon will be an upset. I mean, they're coming in boasting with a nice little win streak. They've won 6 of their last 7 games. So you're looking at them, and honestly, just looking at them, even though St. Mary's have only lost 1 game since Christmas, and even though they have won their conference, I forgot what conference they're on, but even though both of these things have happened, I still see this is March Madness. This is upsets. If it's not going to be Grand Canyon, I don't really see it happening with because looking on the other side of the bracket, I did say that UAB will get San Diego State, because UAB is one of those teams that, hey, they're on a hot streak. I mean, there's so many teams that right now it's crazy. They're on a hot streak too. I mean, you're looking at the UAB. The Blazers are one of the best, nations at drawing fouls and making free throws. They're also one of the best offensive rebound teams. This is. You got it, but they don't got one of the don't got a great defense. But that's what happens with. I'm telling you, you know what? I'm changing my pick right now. It's because I had Grand Canyon against St. Mary's as well. Right, so take Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon will beat St. Mary's without. St. Mary's has won the tournament title, whatever. But Grand Canyon got the pieces to be able to beat St. Mary's, and also take UAB to beat San Diego State. San Diego State just not convincing me with the way they ended the season. I did initially pick them before I pressed play, but I'm not feeling them. UAB able to just pick up some heat. If they could defend for 5 minutes, they'll win the game. Last but not least, I got Oregon. I'm just going through my upsets here. I'm not going to lie. I know this video is one of my longer videos I've ever made. One of the longest podcasts I've ever made. So I just don't want it to be inconsistent with the timing. But Oregon, I got Oregon beating South Carolina. Just on the thing, Oregon just picking up steam at the right time. This is another one of those teams that just picking up steam at the right time. Dana Altman, seasoned coach whose teams just peak at the right time, and they went 7 of 8 in the first 15 games of the seasons. They earned an automatic bid after winning the Pac-12 tournament behind excellent play from their seniors, Dante and Kusand. Good but not great on both sides of the ball. They take care of the ball, and they're an opponent that teams don't want to first face early in the rounds, especially after getting all this type of momentum from the tournament, a Pac-12 tournament, being the last Pac-12 champions. They can't go outside. They cannot go outside. I at least see them getting through the first round and beating a South Carolina team that, frankly, through all year, they've been okay. They've been okay, but they haven't been great. You know, they got a balanced team, take care of the basketball, and they know how to win. They rattled off 26 victories and avoided long dry spells. But just lack of efficiency on the offensive end of the court will be a major issue against a team like Oregon, in my opinion. An Oregon team that can lay it down, especially on the inside. They could defend you. That's what they did against Colorado to win the Pac-12. That's what they did against Arizona to win the Pac-12. So those are my picks for the first early rounds in the college basketball tournament. This is, to be honest, I could really break down every single pick here, every single one. I'm not gonna lie, but there's not enough time. There's not enough time. I did say I had Yale winning. Yeah, that Yale one, you guys ain't gonna believe me, bro. But that second round, at round of 32, it's gonna be a 12 against 13. You guys ain't gonna believe me. You guys ain't gonna laugh at me when you see this, but I will be screen recording this and I will be reposting it when it happens on the 23rd or when it happens on the 22nd, right? When it happens, where are they both playing? They both playing on the 22nd. And when it happens on the 22nd, I'm going to screenshot it. I will screen record this and I will repost it. And you all will thank me, the ones that took it. I don't know who is listening out here, but I thank you if you've reached to the end of this episode. I mean, I just want to give a huge shout out to everybody, man. Like, if you could leave a review, if you could leave a comment, anything on anything I talked about today, anything you liked about the video, that'd be great. I'm just trying to make a podcast that is, for the people. I'm part of the people. I feel like, a lot of these sports shows, podcasts don't really talk about the sports anymore. All about headlines, all about drama. I'm here to talk about some sports, get down to dirty and just get down to the action, right? So, guys, let me know what I've been, it's been a little bit more than a month here that you guys have been keeping up with me every day. So let me know how you think of this podcast. Let me know what you think, could come into this podcast and improve it. And, with that, I thank you. I say again, as I always say on these episodes, remember, Jesus loves you. I love you. I thank you again for joining up the Game Time Gazette. This has been your host, Isaiah Aneni. Until next time, don't be a stranger. See you later.